So hello everyone, welcome to a YouTube video. I know I haven't been around for, I think it's almost 3 months, and I'm going to tell you why. Some stuff's just kind of noise and interesting to you. I've got a fan on in the corner, so hopefully it's not coming on the microphone and not making this sound inaudible. I'll check it afterwards, but hopefully it's okay because it's freaking warm here in the UK. So mind you, not as warm as some of the places that I've been, and I'm going to tell you where I've been. So welcome back. Thank you to everybody who has newly subscribed. I'm surprised that in the last month we've received, I think it's another 15 or so subscribers, but I've done nothing for YouTube for nearly 3 months, which is quite surprising that the subscriber count is going up. Anyway, what have we been up to? Well, I can tell you that I've done pretty much the last 8 weeks back-to-back training stroke consulting. So and to be honest, I was feeling a little bit exhausted. I was feeling a little bit tired. And but where have I been? I've been all around the UK, and I've been delivering training and consulting for those who are already experienced IPS engineers, but also those that are new coming into the market, supporting a customer who already has really good capability in the software and services market, but they're looking at moving into the S1000D arena is what they're looking at specifically. But anyway, so that was kind of the UK, but then straight after that, as soon as I finished that, I was off into mainland Europe, where I drove all the way down through the Netherlands, Germany, Austria, and down into northern Italy, where I spent a week with a customer down there. Then I worked my way back up, saw a couple of customers on the way back up through Europe, where I then delivered some training in the Netherlands. But before all of that, I also did some training online for a customer in Canada, and before that a customer in the United States. So all online. So I've been doing quite a bit, and I've been with some really smart people. I've worked with some people who I'm trying to encourage to get involved on some of the working groups, because they are super smart people, and their knowledge and their experience is invaluable to how we can really drive forward together these specifications that are coming our way. And So I've been maxed out. I've been running around like a lunatic, which is why YouTube has not been my priority. But I've been working on something else, and something else is the something else I wish I had before I went on this mad 8 weeks of training, stroke consulting, stroke travel. Now, if you remember, those of you who came to TDW Live, I'm going to do a separate video on TDW Live and what you can expect this year at TDW Live. I'm going to do that. Maybe we'll go for a walk or something. The problem with being on the road and training for so long is you tend to neglect yourself. And I've been going out for nice meals and that with everybody, and coming back a little bit fatter. So I'm back, and I'm trying to lose a bit of the beef, shall we say, and try and get back out with my cameras. I know some of you have been asking me questions about my cameras. Not done much at all with that recently. But what have I been working on? At TDW Live last year, I mentioned that I've always wanted to develop my own technology when it comes to delivering training, consulting and live events, and we've done it. And I've been working on this for 3 or 4 years now. I've been baking this idea, and I know some of you, this is for my friends down in Australia, I know some of you have been asking me questions, and I've ignored your questions for now because I knew this video was going to be coming out. So we've developed our own platform that not only helps us run live events, so I'm going to show you how we're going to do TDW Live this year, but also how we can really engage our users, our sponsors, our members, in a centralized, unified way. You can tell I'm a bit excited about it, right? So because it's an idea that I've been cooking, and it's finally here. So we've called it SpiralLearn. I know last year at the conference I used a little bit of smoke and mirrors, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to get people off my scent if they, you know, maybe wanted to try and copy what I was doing. I'm all about how can we elevate training. Okay, now the training that I do is invariably, the feedback is outstanding. One of the common questions I get is, you would like more examples, more interactivity, those kind of things. Well, that's where we're coming from with this platform. Now, all of my training is delivered, unless I'm doing training for a specific software vendor or service company where they've asked me to go in and train their customers. All of my training is delivered software neutral. However, if somebody wants me to use a specific vendor's piece of software for the training, then of course we weave that in. So let me tell you what SpiralLearn is, and then I'm going to give you some insights. So SpiralLearn is about how not only can I deliver face-to-face training in an engaging way, but also how I can do hybrid training online, and where traditionally I would just share slides and send people links. Now we can really immerse the delegates or the students in a learning environment and a learning experience. So I'm just going to give you some kind of high level what it does. I'm not going to share all of my secret sauce on here for obvious reasons. But if you want to get in touch and you want to learn how SpiralLearn is going to help us on our training courses and live events, so let's just talk about it from a high level. What's my kind of normal working day is delivering training or consulting. Okay, so now the existing platform that I've got, it's login to ipstraining.co. That's going to be retired at the end of the year. So if you've got an account over there, you'll be invited to create an account over on SpiralLearn. Not yet, okay? Just before I get too into this, we're only inviting certain people at the moment to try SpiralLearn. So what we want to do is roll it out slowly. So if you're doing a TDW training course coming up in the next few weeks, you're going to be learning with SpiralLearn, okay? And how we're going to use that, I'm going to show you. Then, but also I want to use it at TDW Live. So we're going to be inviting delegates, speakers, sponsors to create profiles on there. So let's just come into some of the features. Now what I want to do is, I've got, anyone who's done my training, I've got a bucket ton of machines and I've got switches and we go through the machines. So I'm going to just go into SpiralLearn as how a TDW delegate might come into, or not might, will come into TDW Live. So I just want to make sure that I go to the right machine. So here's that machine. Now I'm going to blur out some of the features maybe on here. Okay, so here you can see that we have on this is a delegate. As the delegate comes into TDW Live, I'm just going to talk you through some of the pages or some of what goes on here. So now I've got a profile here on TDW Live, and I've just rather imaginatively I've called it delegate. This is just so I can see what's happening here, and you can see that down at the bottom there it says I'm registered here to go to TDW Live in 2025. Now if I click on view event, you can see that now not only have I got sponsor information, this is all demonstration data in here at the moment while we've been testing. So here you can see that if I click on this, it will open up the sponsor information for me, so I can contact a sponsor And what's super impressive, or I think super impressive, is sponsors can now put in their corporate brochures or papers or those kind of things. And then what happens is, if a delegate downloads that information, the delegate has to agree that the sponsor is told that the delegate with email address has downloaded the information. And I'm not going to show it on this video because I'm doing that for sponsors to train them on how to use this. They have their own analytics dashboard when they come into the system. So they'll see who downloaded their material, who's asked them questions, and also if the sponsor themselves has a presentation, we get dynamic feedback from the audience so that it then gives them a data analytics dashboard to say what the ratings were from the delegates. So the delegates can say, this was rubbish, but they also then provide feedback, so then the sponsors can improve, or the speakers can improve their presentations in the future. That's pretty cool, right? So almost like we're talking about instant feedback, right? So what are some of the features that are here inside TDW Live? Like I said, I will probably blank out some of this because I don't want to give away too much of my secret sauce. So I can create an event profile, and that event profile will allow me to make available my profile to others to see, and or I can request a certificate. Why is that important? Those of you who are doing my training or have done training with me recently, you know that we are ITOL certified. Our training is all certified by ITOL here in the UK. However, we also use a third-party system for issuing certificates, and it's expensive. Now, and so I've integrated, or what we've done is integrated a certification management system in here as well, all owned by us, all developed by us. And so what will happen is that you can request a certificate, and at the end of the event and or the training course, I'll show you the training course here shortly, you will be issued an e-certificate and a PDF, and you can share that to LinkedIn. However, if you're a member of TDW, you will also have a history of all the events, webinars, etc. That you've joined with us. For those of you who need to maintain a professional development record, all the time you'll remember that will be on there. The times that you don't want to become a member, you'll just download your record, and you'll be able to have your personal or professional development record for you, for your institutions that you might be a member of. So what happens here is you can see that we have here the agenda. So the agenda, this is just a test agenda that I've put in for now. And when the event becomes live, you can start taking your own notes, i.e. spiral note. And what you can do is, as a presentation is being given, you can make notes as you go along inside the app, and then at the end of the course, at the end of the event, you can download a PDF of all of the notes that you have taken. And what we're trying to do right now is then assign that. So if you take a note, it actually takes a screen grab of the slide. So then the note goes against the slide. So then when you go back, so if you're on a 3-day event or a 5-day training course, you'll have a complete note that you've taken throughout that event. But we've also, on the courses side, because the training is always kind of training stroke consulting, what we've done is we've given you the ability to identify or highlight specific notes that you want to turn into an action that you can take inside your business, that you can then create an action plan, if you like, post-training. So what you're doing is dynamically creating an action plan through the training. We've only put this on training, not on the events. It's easy for us to add it if we wanted to. So what we've got is now complete engagement from sponsors to delegates, to speakers, to the event organizer, and you're not only just getting presented at, you're also getting the ability to engage with, raise hands, ask questions, and engage with us in a much, those that are sharing information, engage in a much more useful way. And so that bit I'm super stoked about. Now the course side of things, if I go back to my dashboard and show you this here again, I'm just going to go into nothing in particular, but if I go into here, this is now a course view, and the course view on the we can look at a glossary, something I'm always asked about. Can we have a glossary which is searchable? We also have course FAQs that we can throw in there as well. There is a complete help and support and ticketing system that is filterable based not only on global issues with the platform, although right now it's pretty solid, it's pretty stable, but also course specific. Here you can see that we can raise a request for our certificate. I can also put my hand up, and the teacher has now been identified or has been told. In fact, if I go into my course on the other page here, and I just show you dynamically, making sure I'm on the right page, camera 4, you can see that here I'm now being told that the student or the person on the course has actually asked for or has put their hand up. So so you can put that up, you can ask questions dynamically, and there are also some should we say some secret sources on here that we are not I'm not going to show here on YouTube, because for obvious reasons. So now not only are we bringing the event closer to the people, to the sponsors, to the delegates, we're also now bringing training even deeper. Now, how does that work? Now, so we shall I show it? Can I show it? I will show it, but this is one of the secret sources. Okay, so if I go back here to my teacher view, you can see that I'm able to play with some of the stuff that the student gets access to. But here now I can dynamically set a task for the student to undertake or to do. So if I go back here to the student view in this course, you just saw I selected this try now drop down. I'm not going to show how I've done that and where that's coming from, but here you can see that I can suggest a exercise, and then what happens is dynamically that exercise appears to the student that they can then click try now. And in this particular case, I've introduced a XML task for the student to have a go. And not only that, the XML will be validated against the schema. It will tell the student what went wrong or how they could improve their XML, and they could submit that. Now that's just one exercise type that I can do for the students that are attending. So here you can see that those of you who have done my training courses, you know we have lots of templates that we look at. We have interactive templates that are things like S1000D, go, no go, and how do we use things like mapping of 3000L all the way through all of the specifications. Right now, or up until recently, they were standalone templates, and I would give those to you after the course, and not anymore. They will be in here ready for you to use. Now, so you can see that you know what we're trying to do is make it more interactive, more engaging, more useful for everybody. However, I want to go further than that. I've got a super unique function that I'm putting on this platform for anybody who attends one of my training courses, and I'm not sharing that here. Now, of course, what we've done is we've developed this in a way that it's not TDW specific. It was always my vision to make this a tool that I'm not the only person in the world that delivers training, and I'm the only one in the world that delivers it really well. And however, joking aside, if there are other IPS trainers out there, or indeed other non-aerospace defence space trainers out there that want to use this for their, or indeed any of the software vendors that I support, if they want to use this to develop training for their customers, it's licensable. I can sell it as a license. Right now it's just populated with all of my content, and the free resources are on here as we would expect. So I've just come back into the student here. You can see that they can now come in here and download and view content, and I can switch this on and off based on who I want to have access to it. Now, what's really cool about this product, I think it's cool, you might think it's boring, is we get training requests all of the time. Not one training request is exactly the same. So what the training requests now, they come in here, they create an account, they request access to a course catalogue. Here I can show you the course catalogue will be presented to them, but because we manually say, okay, that's a Gmail account, ignore it, it's somebody spamming us or some other trainer trying to access our detail. Once we validate or verify that we're happy with the authenticity of the request, if we like, there's a course builder in there as well. So you can create your own specific course that meets your requirements for your organization. That is pretty cool. And then you submit it to us. We can give you a quote and say, okay, this is your syllabus, this is what we're going to do. However, for those that don't know what they need, they've got an area that they just say, this is what our training need is, this is our business challenge. They submit that to us, we build the course, we send it back to them and say, this is the course that we think is good for you. How cool is that? Do you like it? I freaking love it. Right, now, so those of you who know my smartboard is back in the office. Okay, thank you to everybody who helped me load it on and off the van while I was over in Europe and traveling around the UK. I want to make sure I switch you to the right machine here, which is this one. So this is the smartboard view. I'm certainly not going to be showing you all of this here, but this is now how the members, so those of you who are currently IPS Toolkit users, we are now implementing or moving the IPS Toolkit into here. I'm going to give you a sneak peek, but I may blur some of this out for obvious IP reasons. I'm just going to go over to my smartboard and I'm going to go click a button. So here now you can see that if you are a member, so not a vendor member but a normal subscriber to TDW, here you will see that we now are porting the functions that are coming from the IPS toolkit. So the IPS toolkit is moving over. Now I'm not going to open it here because I'm not going to give away any of my secret sauce on what we're doing. However, the IPS toolkit today that sits on top of Mind Manager will, if you still want to use that, that's absolutely fine. And however, we are porting all of those functions and features over into here. So those of you remember, we have my templates on Brex validation for your data. It's all going to go in here, so we can use it. I can temporarily give students access to this for their training course, and and so they can use the templates, they can use the IPS toolkit, and they can have access to that during the training. So now you can see that we're really bringing together, making this an environment where we want to learn, where we can learn. Because otherwise, if we just do death by PowerPoint, this stuff is freaking boring. And we can make it super exciting if we want to. And so I said it at TDW Live last year that we were developing it. And we've been developing it. I've been sitting on it for a long time. We have developed it now, and we are going to be testing it in a more robust way very shortly. So now, what's the typical question? But that's all online. It is all online, and it's online for a specific reason. And but the members area, the IPS toolkit area, we're now developing the companion desktop app, so that if you're working on secret stuff and you can't put it up on the web, you can go and set up your project, etc. in Spiral Note. So Spiral Note and is going inside SpiralLearn, and you're able to then synchronize or drop that data from the web down to your desktop app. And the desktop app is then where you can do that internally in your organization, and you don't need to share anything. Now, of course, what's the next logical step? And we're doing this right now. We've already got the first iteration of a mobile app to support this. So all the same back end will run from the same data. So therefore now, I'm going to put myself on the spot. I really don't want to. We're hoping that by the time TDW Live comes along, you will be able to download the app, and providing you've got a ticket, etc., to view the event, you'll be able to download it and have it on your mobile in front of you. Because of course, a lot of the slides that we do have a lot of detail on them. So if we can broadcast it to your tablet, where you can see it right close and you don't need to strain to see the presentation on the slide, you can see it in front of you. That's pretty cool, right? So that's where we're going. However, what I've shown you today and the things that I've talked about today are scratching the surface of what I want this tool to do and how I want it to change the world of training and how we do that. Now, the next step, if I can't remember which one it was on now, if I go here, okay, and that's me on that one there, bear with me. So I just need to make sure I've got the right page for you. So here you can see now we're also introducing the back ends there, it works, a webinar page. So we can run our own webinars, because a lot of people want to join our webinars, but they can't access things like GoToWebinar or Zoom or anything like that. So we've got our own platform now where we can broadcast a webinar via the platform. But in the same way that we have with the events, here you can see on screen that, you know, I've got 2 sponsored webinars coming up. Make sure you stay tuned, because they're going to be getting announced very shortly. I'm doing one with RWS, and I'm doing one with Etaplan. Now, they want to know that if they're paying me to run a sponsored webinar, that they're getting the absolute biggest bang for their buck. Well, in the same way that we have with the sponsors for TDW Live, they can engage with the attendees in a much more useful way and a much more measurable way. And of course, we can create data analytics on the back of things. So, for example, with the RWS webinar that's coming up shortly, I've written a white paper. So if you download that white paper, RWS will be told, oh, this person downloaded it, this person downloaded it, and it gives them an opportunity to speak to you, which is what they want to do, right? So that's what I'm up to. That's why I've been quiet. That's why I'm super excited. Yes, I've still got a bucket ton of training, etc. coming up over the next few weeks, but I'm going to do a video this week. You don't know what this week is because you don't know when I recorded this, but hopefully in the same week that this video goes out, on what you can expect from TDW Live, because now we've got this, I can really make TDW Live valuable to the delegates that attend. So if you want to join us at TDW Live, the next thing for this is that we're going to do ticket management. It doesn't have ticket management right now, but ticket management is still done through the old way. So go to tdw-live.com. You can buy your ticket to come to TDW Live. Keep an eye on this channel because I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm going to, on the day one workshop day, which we've had a bucket ton already, requests, international requests to come to that. And I'm super stoked with this product. It's something that I've been baking. Now, there is something else I'm baking as well in the background. I don't know whether I want to put it inside SpiralLearn or whether I want to make it a separate product, separate tool, again in the education section, so not conflicting with any of the vendors, etc. There you go. There you have it. If you want more information on this, give us a shout. More than happy to share. The next steps, those of you who are IPS Toolkit users, those of you who are already registered for TDW Live, either as a delegate, a speaker or a sponsor, please keep an eye out for an email that will say you have been invited by, and there will be some stuff in there so you know it's from us, that you will be able to create your account. Now, anybody else out there, if you're not invited, if you manage to stumble across the login page, please don't create an account because they will all be deleted. They're automatically set to delete if you've not got an invite code. We will switch that off once we're happy that all the features and functions work exactly as we want them to work. There you go. I'm super excited, super pleased with it. It's something I've been wanting to do for many, many years, and Claire Louise finally told me to just get it done. So I have got it done. There you go. I'm Mike. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Are you as excited about this as I am? And I know that one training course I've just recently done, you've asked me to come back at the end of the year. Two of you have asked me to come back at the end of the year. Well, this is the tool that I was telling you about. So we are going to be using this throughout the training. There you go. Love it. Speak to you soon.